Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Read M. My name is Emily, and today I will be tier ranking every single TV show that I've ever watched. We're actually, again, not talking about books, we're going to be talking about TV, because I recently have become obsessed with a specific TV show that will be included in this list, but I don't want to give away what that is yet. I do want to lay down some ground rules. That is just me describing to you my way of ranking these shows and my way of counting what shows I have watched. So every single show on this list is one that I have either watched the entirety of because it's a finished show, or I have watched all of it that is out. Or there is a third category of I have watched a lot of it to the point where I would consider it a show that I've watched. I will talk about that more in depth when I actually rank those shows. Basically what I'm not counting are shows that I've only watched like a few seasons of perhaps and then didn't really like and didn't continue. The ones where I have only seen a few seasons but I am including this list are ones that I really like and actively am continuing, and that's why I'm keeping them on the list because I have to rank them obviously if I'm going to keep watching them and eventually finishing them. But for the most part these are shows that I have completed or I've completed all that is out as of now. So I'm going to attempt to screen record this and we're just gonna get straight into the ranking. First up, oh, also if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at the screen that I am doing my ranking on, so just don't mind that. Okay, so first up, as you can see here, we have Teen Wolf. Now, okay, I'm just gonna start I'm not putting it in D, I'm just putting it there so I don't have to keep holding on to it. So, Teen Wolf. This is actually a hard one to start off with, I feel like, because it does hold so much nostalgia for me, but it really does have some highs and lows. It is not Riverdale, but it does have some epic highs and lows. We have the absolute A-level season, that is season 3. We have the D-level, that is kind of seasons 4 and 5, in my opinion. They're not good, but they're fun to watch, you know, as a nostalgia thing. But I really think that, and the first 2 seasons are like solid B. I think I'm gonna put it in C. While this list is going to be a lot based on subjectivity, based on like what I like, I, you know, have to factor in a bit the quality of the shows. And we're gonna put Teen Wolf at a solid C tier. If we are just ranking it on Stiles Stilinski himself, obviously it would be S tier. On Lydia as well, Lydia and Stiles together, that would be S tier content. However, we have to take into context the rest of the show. So I'm putting Teen Wolf in C tier. Oh my god, okay, this is such a struggle. Oh my god, I didn't think about how hard this would be. Okay, now we have Sherlock. So Sherlock, for a long time, was probably what I would consider my favorite show of all time. That has since been dethroned within this past year or two. And I recognize the issues that Sherlock has. I recognize how it's so over the top, it doesn't really make sense. But I would argue, why do you think Sherlock Holmes has to make sense? Like, it's not trying to be a police procedural, it's trying to be Sherlock Holmes. So like, I don't really understand people's arguments in that front. Like, I believe that since the characters are so consistent throughout the show, like that's why I like it. I think it's really funny. I think the over-the-topness is fun to watch and very entertaining to have like a figure that's so smart and like crazily smart. I don't know. I really like Sherlock, and it's definitely the most rewatchable show for me like ever. I've seen the pilot episode probably 7 times, I believe, and I've seen the whole show through all the way 3 or 4 times. And I've seen a lot of the other episodes like just many, many times, and I love that show. It's definitely like one of my favorite shows of all time, but compared to some of these quality-wise, I will recognize that it is not quite as good, so I will put it in solid A tier. It'll probably stay in the top of A, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, Better Call Saul. Okay, we're gonna wait on that one until we get to Breaking Bad because it's the sequel, or no, it's the prequel to Breaking Bad if you didn't know that, so we're gonna wait on ranking that one. Okay, next up we have Gravity Falls. So this is one of the only cartoons on this list, but I just think that it's so good that it needs to be on this list, so we're putting that immediately in S tier. If you haven't watched Gravity Falls, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Like, you need to watch it because you are missing out on just quality television. It's only 2 seasons, I believe, but like it was meant to be only 2 seasons. It has an actual plot that carries on throughout the show, and the direction it goes is not what you were expecting from a kid's show. I promise you that. You will be shook, and the characters are just like so lovable and amazing, and like some of my favorite kind of like kids characters in middle grade books or just like kids shows are like the smart little mischievous characters who are like going off and figuring out like secret societies and things, and that's exactly what this show brings me. On top of that, very interesting like fantasy and sci-fi like background stuff. I don't know. I really like Gravity Falls, and it is well regarded as one of the best like cartoons ever, so I feel pretty confident putting that one in S. Oh, this one's hard. Okay, now we have Squid Game. Okay, Squid Game took the world by storm last year, this year, I don't even know when it was, at some point in the recent past. And I was one of the people who watched it. I did enjoy Squid Game, and I will be watching season 2, but I just think it really suffered from, again, the epic highs and lows. Like, that's the central theme here, is epic highs and lows, because episode 6 was an epic high. Episode 6 would be S-tier television. But then it really kind of went downhill for me. So I'm gonna stick Squid Game as a solid B. I think it is a good show with potential to rise based on other seasons, but also an equal, if not more, potential to fall. So I'm gonna be putting that in B. I'm not really sure where they're gonna go with season 2, so I'm a little nervous about that. But for now, putting it in B tier. Now we have Ozark. Now, Ozark, as of when I'm recording this, has not been completed. The second half of season 4 is coming out in like 2 weeks, and that will be the ending of the show. It doesn't really matter because at this point it's still S tier, but the ending of the show could bring it higher. Like it could. Well, okay, it's already going higher than Gravity Falls. Like didn't really notice that. But the ending of the show could bring it higher in S tier. Like right now, obviously it's at the top, but like as I put shows in, I'm gonna try to like rank them in each row as well. And I just feel like Ozark's not gonna be the very top of S. Well, I know it's not gonna be the very top of S, but it has potential to get there. I just need you to know that it does have that potential depending on the ending of season 4. Which will be the final ending. I'm very scared for this ending because like right now so much is up in the air and like it needs to pull off a Breaking Bad finale and I don't know if it has it in it, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens there. But anyway, Ozark, top tier television, so good. There are a few episodes with plot lines that don't go anywhere eventually because of like they changed where they were going and stuff, or there are a few episodes that are slower. I wouldn't call anything filler necessarily, but there are slower moments that I think some of these other shows were able to pull off not having. So that's why Ozark, you're gonna see, is not gonna be the very top of S, but with the ending, who knows what will happen with that. Oh, okay, next up we have a very different show. We have Dash and Lily. Now this is based on a young adult book and it's like a Christmas romance series. It's only 1 season, but like again, it was written to be 1 season. And I watched it this Christmas and honestly, that is an A tier TV show. I watched the whole thing in like 2 days and it was way better than I was expecting. Like I liked the book, but I remember it being like really cheesy. And yes, this is cheesy, but it's like good show, like very entertaining, very well written. I don't know. I had a great time watching it. It does exactly what it's trying to do. And I recommend you give it a watch. Oh, okay. Next up we have Jane the Virgin. Now, Jane the Virgin is very unique to me because I think it is one of the best shows I've watched. It's been one of my favorites, but also I don't think I will ever rewatch this show because it's kind of ruined by the fact that it's a telenovela, so everything is like so crazy that everything changes so much between every single episode that going back to the beginning, it just like feels wrong. It feels so exhausting. You're like, why am I even watching this part when none of this like not that none of it matters, but like the part that you like, that you grow to love, is like how it progresses over time. So when you go back to the beginning, you're like, ew, what is this? I don't like these people being together and this being like this and like all that kind of stuff. So like I don't think I can see myself rewatching this, but I also like loved it so much at the time because of its plot and its characters. I especially really love Jane, the main character in general. Like she's a writer, her whole family is really funny and sweet, and like everything about it is just funny. It's like a crime show and a drama and a comedy and like everything all at once. And it's really good, but it's not rewatchable for me. So I will be putting it between Dash and Lily and Sherlock because this is like the most rewatchable show I've ever watched, Sherlock, but Jane the Virgin is not. It's not rewatchable, but it is better than Dash and Lily, obviously. So okay, oh my god, why is this so much harder than I thought it would be? Okay, Criminal Minds. I have seen every single episode of all 15 seasons of Criminal Minds. That is a fact. I don't know how many hours that is if you add it all up, but it's probably an embarrassing number. We're gonna think back to the central theme here of epic highs and lows because there are such epic highs and such epic lows of Criminal Minds, but the epic highs are so high. I think it really peaks around season 7. I believe it's that season. Basically, it just peaks when the crew is JJ, Reed, Morgan, Garcia, Hotch, Emily. Is that everyone? And Rossi. That's when it peaks. It's when it's that crew that the show is the best that it gets. So because of that, and the fact that even when it's bad, it's just like filler episodes. It's not like bad. It's just like nothing really matters in those episodes. So I'm gonna put Criminal Minds at a solid B, but better than Squid Game because it had higher highs than Squid Game. But that's probably also because it has 15 seasons to have higher highs, where Squid Game currently only has one. Ooh, okay. Next up, another limited series of only one season, and that is The Queen's Gambit. So this show, I very much enjoyed when I watched it, but again, it can only achieve so much within one season, and I did think that the emotional elements are like pretty lacking. Like, it's just, you just want to see her win chess. You don't really care about like characters too deeply or anything, although I like the romance in it. So this is a good show. I would put it slightly below Squid Game, because Squid Game did have an emotional element that definitely pulls at you, so we're gonna do that. Now, we've arrived at Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was the show that I watched last summer, and man, oh man, we are going straight to the top of, hello, we're going straight to the top of S. Obviously, okay, I actually had watched Ozark before Breaking Bad, so I was unaware of how much inspiration Ozark takes from Breaking Bad, but that's just a fact. But anyway, Breaking Bad literally changed my view of TV. Like, it is the most perfect show. It is so well written. It is the perfect length. The character growth and development is just like impeccable. It's so exciting. There are so many like images from it that are like ingrained in my brain and are like memes and just like popular to talk about online. And I just think that Breaking Bad is so great, and it does have a high rewatchability for me. Like, I have not yet rewatched it because I've just watched it like last year, but I have rewatched like a lot of like scenes and like a few episodes, and I love watching like video essays about it, as cliche as it is. But Breaking Bad, it's just so good. It's a classic. Like, what can I say? If you haven't watched Breaking Bad, like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what I was doing before I watched Breaking Bad, but like, it's on Netflix. Go watch it before they inevitably take it off Netflix. Okay, now that we've done that, I think we can rank Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is not as good as Breaking Bad. I will say that. It's definitely not gonna be an S tier show, but like, it's a good show. And I have only watched, disclaimer, I've only watched seasons 1 through 4 because they literally added season 5 on Netflix today. So I'm gonna be watching that soon, once I'm done with what I'm watching right now, which I will not talk about yet because that's like my new favorite show. But even though that I will be watching season 5 soon, that's still not gonna be the end of the show. The end of the show will be season 6, which will be starting this year at some point, but I don't know if I'll be watching it until it's on Netflix, so like, I don't know about that. Anyway, I've only watched seasons 1 through 4. With that disclaimer, I will be putting it in A tier definitely. Is it better than Sherlock? Yeah. It's a better show than Sherlock. I still think I personally kind of like Sherlock more, but like, I'm putting Better Call Saul above Sherlock, especially because I haven't even seen all of it yet, so like, I feel like it's gonna get even better, and I know certain characters, or maybe a certain character, will come back, and I'm excited for that. The episode Chicanery, which I think is the season something finale, maybe it's not, I don't know, but that episode is a work of art. Everything that happens with Chuck is so infuriating, but so interesting at the same time. I just think that's like one of the most interesting like character dynamics I've seen on TV. It's great. It's great. Watch Better Call Saul if you haven't yet and you've seen Breaking Bad. Highly recommend. Okay, this is where things might get a little bit controversial. And I don't need to hear you argue about it in the comments, but like, if you want to, I guess I'll listen. I personally am of the opinion that You is almost perfect as well, and that it is better than Ozark. As of now, don't yell at me, do not yell at me yet. I am very, very aware that the ending of Ozark could propel it. It could propel it up to here. However, that does not exist yet in this world where I am right now on April something that is not the 29th yet. Right now, the 3 seasons of You are more perfect to me than the 3.5 seasons of Ozark. Because, hear me out. You knows exactly what it's doing. Ever since it was acquired by Netflix, it has gone the way that it should have. It is so funny. It is so like accurate in societal commentary. It is so like unexpected in plot twists and like where it goes with the writing. And it just knows what it wants to be so well that I just think that it can't be any better than it is. Like, it is what it is trying to be, and I need to commend it for that. I also, again, it could be ruined by its season 4 as well. That is not out yet. But with the seasons it has right now, and the season 3, I think season 3 is so under talked about because where it goes and the writing of the comedy is just genius. And no one, I feel like people obviously were talking about season 3 when it came out because of the ending, but no one was talking about like the nuances of the way that the plot unraveled and the strangeness of the new characters in this season. I don't know. I really love this show and I'm putting it there. I'm putting it above Ozark. I'm so sorry to say it, but That's where it's going. Okay, now we have another show that only has one season out so far, and that is Only Murders in the Building. Now, this show, this one's hard for me because it's fun. It's also pretty unique. Like, I like that there's older characters, but it's like, I'm not emotionally attached to it. It's like kind of surface level. It's kind of boring a little bit. Like, the beginning was boring. It gets more interesting as you go on, but like, I guess it's a C tier show. But like, is it a D tier show? I don't know. Are the Selena stans gonna come yelling at me? Okay, also another disclaimer. This list is obviously shows that I've liked enough to actually like finish. So if it's like D tier, it's not like I'm saying I didn't like it. It's just like D tier out of the shows that I've liked enough to actually watch the whole thing. Okay, so you understand that. Yeah, I guess I have to put it into D tier because I'm not like, I probably will watch the next season, but nothing is being like, you have to watch the next season. Where like Teen Wolf, when I was watching it, like I wanted to keep watching really bad. So like, okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. As of now, again, only one season out. There's no emotional tie. We're putting it in D tier. Speaking of which, we have Shadow and Bone. Now, this show I really enjoy because I've read the books. But do I think this show is good? No. If you have not read the books, I don't think you would understand a single thing that is happening in this show, and I still do not understand why they combined Six of Crows with Shadow and Bone. It's like two separate book series that are in the same universe, and they just like combined them together in the show, even though they don't take place at the same time. So they had to like create like these weird backstories that like coincide with Shadow and Bone that like didn't happen in the books, which like in theory is okay, but like I just don't understand why they made this show instead of a Six of Crows show, which is the series that literally every single person likes better. So yeah, a little disappointed with that, but I do love the cast, and I do think it has its iconic moments, and like I will be watching season 2. And this one is more emotional to me, but I just think it's because I know so much more context because I've read the books. Like, I don't think you would become emotionally attached by just watching the show because you wouldn't be thinking about like all these like backstories and things that I only know about because I read the books. So I'll put it in D, but like I will be watching season 2. Oh, okay, this is also a hard one. Okay, this is another kind of exception because I definitely have not seen every single episode of Black Mirror, but like because it's so disjointed, I feel like it's okay because like watching all of one season doesn't mean it's not like I miss any part of the story by not watching one episode of that season. Okay, so I've seen a lot of I've seen like maybe half of Black Mirror, and I like the ones I've seen mostly, but I've also heard that a lot of them are bad, and especially the newer ones, and the ones I haven't watched are probably the bad ones because I always look up like what are the best ones before I click on one to watch. So I'm gonna put it safely in C, but like disclaimer, I don't really know. I don't think I know enough about Black Mirror to like really say it's like a C tier show. But for me, in my experience of it, there's been like 1 or 2 S tier episodes. The most are probably like A or B, and I've definitely had a few Ds. So we're gonna go with a solid C. Okay, the time has come, people. The time has come. I'm currently on episode 9 of season 2 of Succession. There are 3 seasons out as of recording this. So right now, I'm currently very obsessed with Succession. It could be recency bias. That is true. That is a factor that I will be telling you about. But I also think that this show is the most unique TV show I've ever watched in my life. It is so like different from every other TV show that it took me 5 episodes to realize I liked it. Like the first 5 episodes I was like, I think I hate this. Like I really think I hate this. And I talked to my friend and my parents who also have watched it, like, and they said the same thing. Like it takes 3 to 5 episodes to even be willing to like continue. Like at first I was like forcing myself. I was like, I don't like the way that this is shot. I don't like how the camera's always moving. I don't like how it's like trying to be a comedy but everyone's so terrible. And then somehow in episode 5 I just understood it. Like you have to learn how to speak Succession's language, and then once you do, you cannot stop, and everything else you watch just like doesn't do what this show is doing. I don't even know if there's anything else I can say because I don't want to spoil anything, but like if you like messy political intrigue kind of stuff, not like politics, this is like business politics, but like yes, if you like business you'll probably like this, but I don't like business. I like the messiness of these relationships. I like how we're exploring each character, and like each character is like just, I keep saying the word unique, but it's so true. Like I've never seen a character crafted in the way that like Roman Roy is crafted. Like he is so strange and terrible, but you also like feel bad for him and like him. And then don't even get me started on Tom and Greg. I could talk about Tom and Greg for literally like 12 hours. So like, just watch the show for Tom and Greg, who in the beginning, might I add, were my least favorite characters. I literally hated them. Every time they ever had any interaction, I was like, this is the most secondhand embarrassment I've ever felt in my entire life, and I despise you to like the cores of your souls. And now somehow, like one season later, no, not even one season, it was just after 5 episodes, I was like, I want every single part of the show to be about you two. Except I don't, because I actually like need to know everything about everything else. But like, I'm gonna calm down, and someone please comment down below like every single of your favorite scenes with Tom and Greg. Maybe not season 3 yet, because I'm not there yet, but like, I need to relive those moments because they're so funny. Anyway, moving on from talking about Tom and Greg in Succession, we're just gonna leave that there. And yes, I know it's kind of unfair that I'm putting a show that I watched 2 seasons of ahead of a Breaking Bad, which I watched the whole thing of, but like, I don't care. This is my list. Oh, this is another okay, I'm really sorry about this lighting. I can see it in the thing and it's really bad, but like, we're almost done. We're gonna be up for it. Okay, now this one is the Looney Tunes show. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh. But I'm serious. I am dead serious about this. Go watch the Looney Tunes show from Cartoon Network. There are only 2 seasons. It's the one when like Kristen Wiig, is that her name? I don't know. The comedian is the one who plays Lola. This show is my favorite cartoon besides Gravity Falls. The humor in it is just like so funny. Like, it's so adult for a kids show, and like the callbacks in every single episode are just like so well done. And Daffy and Bugs are honestly 2 of my favorite characters in like any show. Like, Daffy and Bugs are like the Tom and Greg of this show. I actually like them as characters, even though they're like literally Looney Tunes. I don't know how to describe this to you, but I watch this show regularly with my family, and you need to too. I don't know any other single person who watches the Cartoon Network Looney Tunes show with only 2 seasons, because it's so good. Just watch any episode, and I promise you will be laughing out loud. I promise you that. So like, this is my agenda to get everyone to watch the Looney Tunes show from Cartoon Network, okay? So go do that. Now let's talk about more embarrassing shows that I've watched. Yes, Doctor Who. I was a very big Doctor Who fan in middle school. I'm still excited for where the show is going to go in the future. I currently have not watched the seasons with Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, and I think I kind of stopped like halfway through Peter Capaldi, but I do plan on like watching the show again when Russell T Davies comes back as the showrunner. If you don't watch Doctor Who and you don't know what I'm talking about, just like, it's fine. I'm almost done. So when he comes back as showrunner and there's a new Doctor, like, I will consider watching it. I've just heard that like this era of it is like not it, and I wasn't really feeling like the second half of Peter Capaldi either. Like, I just started getting bored. So like, I'm just waiting for the new era of Doctor Who, and then I'll continue. But that being said, I loved Doctor Who so much, especially obviously like it peaks with David Tennant and stuff, but like I loved Matt Smith too, and I loved Peter Capaldi. Just like, I just thought his episodes started getting boring. Like, nothing against him as the Doctor, and nothing against Jodie Whittaker either. I'm sure she's fine. It's just like, I've heard the actual show itself is kind of boring. So like, okay, again, the central theme here is coming up. Epic highs and lows. Epic highs and lows. There's so much that is like literally my top S tier of this show, and then there's so much that is so bad. So we're gonna put it as a solid B, but like, I'm gonna put it as the top of B. I think it's better than Criminal Minds, like where it peaks, so I'm putting it there. Okay, we're almost done. We're so close. I know the sun is like slowly coming up, but anyway. Series of Fortunate Events. Oh my god, love the show. I like the books as well, like love them. This is like my favorite kind of kids thing. Again, I'm saying like the smart kids with like dark comedy. Yes, that's exactly what I love. So I will admit though, like this show has some slow points because they gave 2 episodes per book, and I don't think some of them needed to be like that. So there are some slower parts, but like definitely better than Squid Game. Or is it an A show? Oh my god, I'm like having a crisis right now. What do I do? What do I do? Oh my god, this is actually the hardest one I've done. Okay, let me think about it. Is it better than Doctor Who? No, it's not better than Doctor Who, but like, is it better than Criminal Minds? No. Yeah, okay, I'm putting it there. It's only 2 seasons long, but I highly recommend it, especially if you liked the books or the movie, like the old movie with Jim Carrey. If you liked any of those things, watch the show. It does not disappoint, and the theme song is a banger. They change it every 2 episodes to like match which book it's for, but like it's the same chorus and stuff. It's a banger. Just give it a chance. Give it a chance and watch this show, because I don't know enough people who do either. Okay, well, I feel like this is a good one to end on. We have Stranger Things. Now, Stranger Things came out a first one, I was in 8th grade, I believe. And I really enjoyed season 1 when I watched it. However, I am currently now a sophomore in college and season 4 has yet to come out. So, you know, it's been a nice 6 years and I'm still not on season 4 of the show. I mean, it's still not out yet. So some of my love for it has faded with time. And it has gone in ups and downs, again, central theme here, and it's had interesting directions that it's gone in. I personally like season 3 the best. I know that's kind of a hot take, and a lot of people argue that it went downhill, but I kind of think it went good, bad, good. Season 2 for me, no, was not really feeling that. Season 1, very good. Season 3, I really like. I like the way that where that's going. I know it's not the direction some people wanted, like it's less about the science, sci-fi, and like mystery, it's more about like the characters, but like I like it. So yeah, it's definitely a good show. I guess I would put it like, yeah, I put it there. I'd put it under Series of Fortune Events. That's very subjective though. If I was putting objectively, it's definitely better than Series of Fortune Events, but, well, I don't know. I don't know if it is. I'm putting it there. I'm putting it there, I'm sticking with it, and you can't argue with me because this is my list. So anyway, this is my final list of TV shows. I hope you all enjoyed watching me have a crisis over that, and if you haven't watched any of these, or if you know any shows that are like any of these, I think what I like, obviously based on this list the most, is definitely shows that have a good plot but also strong characters. I do not like comedies unless they have like a dark edge, like Succession or You or Series of Fortune Events. I also obviously kind of like a fantasy sci-fi element happening, or a crime element happening, supernatural kind of stuff. I don't know. That's like what I'm seeing here. So if you have any recommendations for that kind of thing, I would definitely love to hear them down below. My top like shows that I really want to watch right now that I'm going to be watching after I finish Succession are the next season of Better Call Saul, Arcane, and Normal People, because I read the book and I really liked it. So like those are my top like 3 of my list that I really want to get to soon. But let me know if there's anything else that I really need to watch. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting down below for engagement. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!